Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Duck Off It's Too Early. This one is an airbrush step by step. Let's take a look at the products and then we'll get into it. Right guys, you've seen in that little clip that you just watched, I basically put that up for a beginner just to show you how you use the pro masking and getting your image across, sort of project it across, put the pro masking on, chop it out and then you pull the inner out. So you've completed that bit and now you can start where we are. So this image is smaller. This is a 200mm square piece of 300 GSM mixed media paper, so it's not expensive to work on. It's a sort of quite porous-ish surface. Now we're going to start on the eyes, just the centres of these eyes. We've got a light blue, a black, and you've got like a black edge to go round. Now getting your brush running nice to be working right up to the paper like this. I'm running around 15 psi and I've got Payne's grey, and it's the, and you can see how fine that's getting down. Trying to balance the paper and do it one-handed. It's atomising really nice, and to get it darker you just go over your line. You see how it's getting darkening up? So when you want that real dark around the eye, you can build it up that way. Right, got the glasses on. I can see what I'm doing now. Now I'm just going to start in the dark area, because just to get a feel for your brush and just see how the paint's coming out, start in the centre of the eye, because you've got a bit of room just to test your trigger and just see how your paint's flowing. Steady up in a bit. Come over to this side and do the centres. Straight on the brush, and I'm a bit cold. Should hit that in one swoop. But I'll warm up closer. As we press on, I'll warm up and pick up speed a bit. I'm just going to drop a bit of that in here. Just a little bit down there and up here. Same here. I'm not mirror matching everything. My tones are different. I'm not colour mixed. I've just grabbed some colours and literally shook the bottles, held them up to the screen and thought, that looks quite about there, we'll go with that. And we'll just sort of play it by ear on colours. So just darken them off. Right, warm up now. Just need to be moving a bit quicker. Bring that down there a bit. And you're sort of working on, you're on minimal trigger. You're just basically warming up, sketching with a brush. That's how I look at doing these ones. It's just nice because it just gets you moving. If you move quick on it, you can get them little on and off dagger stroke techniques down really well. If you really sort of slow up, and drop a bit of that down here as well. go light, you see, if you go light, there's a lot of colours that are going to go over this and around it. Just getting a feel for the brush, sketching it out. A few extra bits in here. As I say, I won't be mirror matching every single minute thing. So that's the Payne's grey bit. Now I'm just going to get a bit of colour in the centre of these eyes. We will come back to these eyes. I mean, that's just sketched in. So we'll go for a light blue. Drop some light blue on there. And because we're building this up, when you look on the actual image, around them eyes is basically black. The Payne's grey will get you so far, but there's times where you can just really punch it with a little bit of black. Just drop a little bit of this blue. I don't mind if it goes slightly up to that edge. Drop that all the way there. We are going to be coming back in on these. Well, that's a little bit of blue, and I'm just going to put a tint of that down the bottom. So that's that colour. Right, we're going to go for start working up the lids of his eyes, up these bits here, and just these bottom bits here. Right, let's get a little bit of this in here. You get all of this in here with this. Put a little bit of that in the eye. There, there. A little bit around here. working around the eyes in the pink, just sort of up close. Not mirror matching everything, as I say, I'm just looking at the reference now and again, just sketching it in sort of thing, because we're going to build up on this. Right, I'm going to leave that at that for the eyes on that colour. We will swap it up a little bit brown. Go for a little dusting of brown. I'm going to thin this one out. Just test it, get it spraying to how you see it at the beginning, where you were spraying it was like flowing nice. Just go for that again. That sort of, I'm going to drop a tint of this in. Go a bit darker on this really. I'm going to flick a little bit of that up just into this bit of hairline here. Put it there while we got it in the brush. Put these little bits in place. Getting any spidering like you see there, that's spidered out, it doesn't matter. That little blowout, all them little mistakes you get like that, little blowouts, if you keep it quite contained, you can get round it. Because I know it's going darker here. Little just flicking a bit of paint in. A little bit of that there. Just follow that up. This is going to go a lot darker here. You just sort of, when you build it up like this, lightly, I mean it may look like really dark on the screen, but it is like faint, it's not full opacity. Just roll a little bit of that around this edge. working around light, just sketching around it again. Same with this one, just start to do the same. You're just building it up. You continue on the eyes, just doodling round. We're going to sharpen these right up. This is just loose, up close, little dagger strokes. A bit of that down here. You sort of just, when you're on this, you're just permanently working around 4mm off the paper. A little bit more up there. I'm just going to bring a bit of that down this way. While we've got it in the brush, just use it. When it comes to the hair textures, don't stress. Don't go, oh my god, I've got to get that line there and that one there. No, you've not. Just put the dagger strokes in the sort of direction that the hair goes. And if you're putting more in, it doesn't matter. Just do a little. There. Oh, see the needle then? Stuck the needle in the paper. Good old H&S needles take a beating. They really do. If that was a Segola needle, it would be bent. A few extra little bits in. We're going to drop another colour in this, and then we're going to go back up and darken it again. Now just back off with the brush, just drop a bit of paint in. Start toning some bits back. Sketch it in. Speed, you see, when you start speeding up, I can just hit details better when I move faster. And just get better movement with the brush. More down here. There's sort of a couple of tones in here. You've got your white highlight bits, which are in here. So if you want to pop that white out more, just go darker around the surrounding of it. Work your way up. A few more in there. So you can make this bit your own. Just keep. Find the tone. Go with it. That's what I've done. Just found a tone, gone with it. We've got another one to go in on this, which will be a darker one. And then we'll darken in again round here. And then just set the eyes back black. We'll reline the eyes out with the shield and just shade in and just sort of sharpen. If you keep it loose for a start and just like this, sketching it, you're putting the things in place and then you're just toning them back. Get a few more bits in here. Got a lot of white kicking out the end of this, which we're going to jump in on. We'll Posca some highlights around here. We need some real bright ones like this bit here. If we've gone too dark, we can just drop the Posca paint pen on them. Doesn't matter. Not worried about the bright hair highlights. I've looked at where you see the bright highlights, there's always a dark behind it, so we can drop the darks in around the side of the head. And we can just flick the highlights out near the end. We'll get that other tone in a minute. Just work it round like that. Put a few in here. going to drop a bit of that in the centre of that nose. Got it in the brush. It's going to go darker, but we can put it in there. And some on here, just to get these in. Like a weird. I'm going to be shading it up to this anyway, so we've got a bit on there, a bit there. Just want to bring some of this colour in as a nice base for that orange to go off. Get some of that across there. We'll have a little spill of that under there. Right, I think we're going to go in with another tone. We're going to concentrate on these eyes. Now what we can get rid of now is any of the pencil lines that you don't want in your hair, showing like where you've marked out your highlights. You just erase them, all this out now. All that in is going to bring them nice whites out. You can get rid of all of that. Yep, that's good. Yep, that'll do. Right, we need to go a darker. So I've got another brown. Right, straight into the centre of the eye again, so you just test your paint. I've tested to the side. Just want to test it somewhere where it's going to be really dark. This isn't a bad dark, this will do for the next tone. Just going to dust a bit in really. Might just thin this out a little bit more. Put some right good creases in the face there. That just blew out then. Didn't matter. It blew out just basically because it's thin. With the ISO it just evaporates down. And you can just still see your pencil lines underneath. You just put in minimal sort of paint down. It may look like there's loads going down. On the screen, but it's not, because I can still see the pencil lines through it. So I'm not worried. Need some more air. I'll be able to go fast on this bit. That's the airline, rub it against the trestle. Yeah, we're going to go with a bit of this. I like this tone of this darker brown here. Set that back a bit. Back over on these eyes. A bit more here. This is on my way going in with the next tone. I might want to put that there. Using the shield just to get a little sharper edge on that. More little crease lines in. Continue just a little bit out with this one. Put a few of them in up there. Knocking a bit off here and there. I'm not mirror matching to the screen, I'm just sort of going in, doing little different hair textures on this one. And that's what you can do, you can just doodle it. few little extra bits in. I'm just adding a little bit more than what's on the actual image. On some bits. You can just add a little bit more. I think that'll do for that colour. Tiny little flicks when you've got right minimal bit of paint coming out, just do some little squiggles and flicks, just adds little textures in there. Just chipping away and just adding my own little bits here and there. Right, I'm just not talking, we're just sort of chipping away, so you put a little extra tiny little hair textures in, right. Right, we can drop a little bit of that down here. Start to doodle a bit in here. Not doing that in that way. Working down some little dagger strokes. Cool. Put that back in there. Go dark. I went a bit dark on that line. It needs to go darker than that, but for now. Put a bit of that in. That bit, just do a little bit up here. In there. Bit more of that. I'm going to go darker in this, and we're not going to punch the hole out like that and that yet. So just sort of working the tones back. Right guys, I've popped a few little Posca highlights out. You probably see them from that previous shot. Just point you out, just put some little dots, you'll see them just sitting there, little bits. Now what I want to do is I want to go back in and now knock out any of the hair ones that were pencils as guides, take them out. We've got more dark to go in round on these centres of the eyes. What we're going to do now is going to move on to, we're going to drop a bit more tone around here because I want the Posca highlights for the brights on this. We're going to drop the orange in on the beak. Now I've got a couple of oranges. I'm just going to hit it with this one. There's one pre-mixed up. Test it to the side. Yeah, we'll go with that. Right, just going to go straight in on a dark area. Find the dark area that you, and then work from it. Especially when shading, because then you get a feel for the brush. If you start your brush off in a dark area, you've not got to worry, because it's going to go darker. Well, that's them the nose in. On the first colouring, we've got to go darker on it. Just going to put the phosphor in where I need it for now. I'm going to drop a little bit in here. I'm going to do some more with this bit around here. Drop them where you see a bit of a highlight, just put it in. I need to dot around the opposite side of that highlight. Right, let's settle down for a minute. Just knock out any unwanted pencil lines that are getting in the way. We are going to go dark on some bits, but if you can get rid of your pencil lines as you go, do a couple of passes over that and just darken it out. Alright, roll that shadow in there a bit. Put that in here, that orangey brown, different to the original. I just want to bring this colour into it. Add another tone in there. I'm going to warm this edge up as well. round here. Not a lot, just a little bit on that. A lot more work to do down on this bit. Some dark, some bits. Around there. Amounts of it. Right, any little pencil lines, let's get rid of these ones here now. Sort this out. Got some cracks in the eye. Brown. So drop the real sharper lines in with a pencil. You know, there's times when you really want that real. An airbrush will only give you so much. Pop some highlights out again first. Just with these things. And when you like view it, the distance we're viewing it, it's like right up close. So you view this, and when you pull back slightly, it all sort of goes and tightens right up. There's always that viewing distance with artwork. Let's just drop a few of these over here. We'll come back to these highlights once we get more darks around them. Yeah, I'll do. Right, I'm going to call this one done to here. There you go, we've got it to that stage. I hope you've enjoyed the video and picked up some little pointers along the way. I hope I explained enough in there. Real time, it's hard to sort of chat along because you're sort of concentrating. I'm forgetting that there's the camera there filming this. But part two, I'll try and explain a little bit more of what I'm doing on the brush when you see me going in. But it's nice that it was nice and close up. You get to see whereabouts I am on the actual screen to the reference. And as I say, you've not got to mirror match everything. I didn't mirror match everything across. Some of my creases are less, or there's probably more hair strands around the face. Doesn't matter. As long as you get the sort of key areas, when you look across, it looks like the actual reference. And then when you show somebody, you're not comparing it to a reference. You're just going, there's my piece of artwork. And it can look completely different to someone else looking than when you're looking straight at a reference and trying to mirror match everything. You don't have to. Make it your own, guys. So drop your comments. Tell me your thoughts on this piece. And I hope you can join me in part two, where we'll complete this. I'm adding some extra bits to it as well, so you're going to see some little extra bits going on this piece of artwork and just sort of tweak it a little bit. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.